Hi, welcome once again to my channel. My name is Coach Fiobona. I'm your stress management work-life balance coach. Thank you if you have subscribed to my channel. If not, please do so. And always leave a comment, always leave a like for me and share my video. I'll be so grateful. Today we're talking about how to manage stressful people, how to deal with difficult people. And I believe that we all, in one way or the other, we have encountered stressful people, difficult people, can be our partners, our kids, our parents, our bosses, our neighbors, and it's just so difficult and it's so draining when we encounter stressful people. And one thing that stressful people do to us, they bring out a side in us that we don't even know that we have, or that we don't want to see, or that is not good. And you look at yourself, you ask yourself, why did I react this way? Why did I talk this way? That is what stressful people or difficult people, that is what they do to us. But in this video, if we are able to understand them, understand ourselves, because some of us too, we can be very, very stressful. So if we're able to understand that, we'll be able to better manage the situation. Really, the person you cannot change, but you can better manage the person. So let's understand stressful interactions. What actions, or what are the things that stressful people do or difficult people do that gets us, angry or stressful? One, they are very, very demanding, and their demand is very unrealistic. Two, stressful people can be very, very manipulative. Three, they don't respect your boundaries. They don't respect your boundaries. They don't respect you. That is part of the thing that stressful people do. Four, they can be very negative and almost all the time. And five, they love conflict. They thrive where there's conflict. So these are the 5 signs I would say that you can use to recognize a stressful person. And if you find these signs in your life, it's time for you yourself to change. And I'm sure if I give you 1 or 2 minutes to breathe and reflect, you'll find 1 or 2 persons that fit this definition of a stressful person. Just because somebody is a word of caution, just because somebody is one time manipulative or one time negative or things like that, doesn't make them a stressful person. But when somebody does these things all the time, they are always manipulative, they are always negative, they are always expecting unrealistic things from you, they are always happy when there's conflict and they want to sit back and look what's going to happen, then they are a very stressful person. And like I said, if you are like that, you need to change. So understanding this situation will help you to understand the situation. Then secondly, you have to also check how you respond, because sometimes we trigger these people. The way we talk, the way we don't talk, the way we react can trigger the situation. So understanding them, understanding the way you react, trigger. So if I'm talking about stressful people, I'm also telling you to identify yourself in it and try and do the necessary thing that would help you out. Necessary thing that will help you out. So I carved out an acronym for the different stress personalities, because if you're able to identify these stress personalities in them, you are able to better manage them. And I call it CAPVAS. 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 I teach this in my coaching classes to my clients, and I help them identify which stress personalities they are and which stress personality the people around them have. And we are not doctors, I'm not a therapist, but we just want to get an idea, a feel for where these people are coming from. But the truth is that people don't always react the way they feel. So sometimes you cannot really pinpoint which personalities they have. Secondly, people, me, myself, you, yourself, you have 2 or 3 of those personalities at the topmost. Maybe you don't have one particular one that is clear. You have 2 or 3 dominant traits in this personality. So let's go into it. I call it, like I said, CAPVAS. CAPVAS. So the first one are the controller. Let me just say all their names so that you know them before we go into short details about them. You have the controller, you have the avoider, you have the pleaser, you have the victim, you have the alarmist, and you have the super person. The controller, C, avoider, A, pleaser, P, victim, V, alarmist, A, and the super person. It can be a superman or a superwoman. So the controller, I'll just keep the video short. So I'll just give you just some tips you need to look, some traits you need to look out for. The controller is a person that is very, very dominating. They want to make sure that they are in control. So immediately they lose control, they become very, very stressful. They become almost aggressive and demanding because they want to be very, very, they are very decisive kind of people. So when this thing is taken away from them, when they are no more in charge, they become aggressive. So if you see a colleague or a husband or a wife that feels they are no more in control, they become like that. They are very, very controlling, and this is a problem. So if you know, okay, this is a person that doesn't want to lose their control, or maybe you are that kind of person, you don't want to lose your control, then you have to know how to talk to that person, how to relate to that person, So you can also be taking control without letting them know, letting them see that you're taking control of a particular situation, you understand? Because they get stressed out when they are out of control. So if you know them, you'll be able to better deal with them. So let me just give 1 or 2 things. If you are that kind of a person, is you have to learn to let go. You have to know that life, you don't have control over everything or control over every person, And if you are that person, you really need to start trusting people more. That is, you don't always have the last say. Other people can also talk. So you need to regulate yourself, because most people that are in this controller role, that are very dominating, they might have anger issues. They burst out because things are not working their way. So you need to find ways to calm yourself. Part of the ways you can use to calm yourself is exercise and mindfulness. You can use to calm yourself down. The second group of people are the avoiders. They love to avoid stress. They don't like stress, you understand, but they like to avoid them. So if you see this kind of people, then you know how to deal with them. These are people that they postpone everything. You tell them, have you done this? No, no problem, no problem. They are postponing it to the future. Then in the future, they have too much to do. Then little thing makes them to explode. So, and when they're under stress, they keep postponing more things. They keep postponing more things, and they are hoping that these problems will be resolved by other people, not by them. So at the end of the day, they are giving you more stress, because if you are in a team with them, you have to do that work at the end of the day. Then they become very stressful. Then the situation becomes very stressful for you. So this kind of people, you have to tell them to do their things at that time, and they avoid confrontation also. They avoid difficult situations, but you need to tell them, now I want this, give them deadlines and things like that. And if you are that kind of a person, you need to start to delegate. You need to start to give yourself deadlines. So the kind of things you can start doing. You need to start prioritizing and setting manageable goals, because sometimes those people, they just feel it's too much for them. They postpone it, and at the end of the day, everybody gets into trouble. Those kind of people need to use their time wisely, or else stress. So if you're that kind of a person, or you know that kind of a person, they need to manage their stress in this way. The third kind of people are the people pleaser. People pleaser, they say yes to everything, even to their own detriment. They overcommit themselves. I don't know if I made a video about overcommitment. Check my videos and see if I made that video. If not, let me know. I'm going to make the video here because I added it in one of my live programs on Facebook. So I go live on Facebook every Tuesday and every Tuesday on Facebook and on Instagram. So I always have guests too on those programs, so you can be a part of that. So these people, they struggle with saying no. They want to please everybody. Because of that, they commit. That means they don't deliver, or they don't deliver well. They don't deliver in quality. That makes them also stressful. So you see them, they are always tensed because they've taken too much more than they can handle. And if they explode, a lot of things get spoiled. A lot of things get spoiled. So this kind of people, they have to learn to set boundaries, and you have to learn to set boundaries for them if you are dealing with such people. And if it's you yourself that you are the people pleaser, you need to set boundaries for yourself. You have to know your workload, and you have to also be confident. You have to tell those people, for example, if there are people around you, to speak out, to be confident, to say I cannot do, or I can do this much. They have to learn to speak out, and they have to learn to prioritize their tasks. So as at the end of the day, everybody will suffer for it. Everyone will suffer for it. Things don't get done because it was too much, or things get done but they're not done well because the person has overcommitted themselves. So that's the avoider, the people pleaser. We've done the controller, we've done the avoider, we've done the people pleaser. Yet the victim. These are people, they feel powerless in situations, and they believe they don't have control. So they'll be in your team, they cannot do anything. They'll say, I don't know what to do, I don't have talent, I cannot do anything, and the workload is on you. And they blame this victim stress personality, they tend to blame others. So I I'll ask, are you like that? Are you a person that you feel you cannot do anything, you feel you cannot contribute, you feel you cannot lead, and you continue to blame others when things don't go well? No. So this causes problem because it increases the workload of the other people in the team or in the family. This can be a very stressful situation. So these people need to, first of all, go and know what their talents and skills are, and gain more skills, develop themselves more, gain more empowerment in the areas that they lack. They need to also gain problem solving skills. So if you are like that, you're always giving up your role because you feel you cannot make it. You need to look for ways to improve yourself. Most of the time, this victim stress personality, they're the one that should seek professional help, because sometimes they cannot overcome that on their own. So I get these people coming to me because they just feel they cannot make it. They feel they don't see any talent. But when we sit down and we start seeing their talent, and some of them, their talent is to also bring calm into the situation. You understand? Calm into situations, because they're not aggressive, you understand? They're not controlling. So they bring calm, but they need to up their games. They need to up their games. And these people, they need affirmation. They need to affirm themselves and tell themselves the things they can do well. So the fifth kind of people, stress personalities, are the alarmists. Oh my God, they make everything worse than it is. They say there's a meme that talked about worse. They make it worse than it is. They scream, they are anxious, they are very always nervous, they think of negative outcome, they're very, very negative, they worry a lot. they give you people an assignment, they're already saying, oh, I don't think we are going to make it. No, we cannot make it. No, it's difficult, even before they start. So they bring so much tension into the room. They bring so much worry into the room. So if you are like that, you're always so worried, you're always so nervous, you're always so anxious, you need to start calming down. You need to start change your thinking. Start going from negative thinking to being creative, to being very, very creative with your thinking. You have to start learning to relax, to take deep breaths and things like that. You also have to learn to release tension by doing exercise, you know. So if you are like that, you're this kind of a person that is always worried and in alarm state of mind, you really need to relax. It's not that deep. Take one day at a time. So the last one is the super person, and most moms, yeah, most moms fall into this category. They feel they are going to, they're the ones that should, they're the only ones that can solve the whole problem. They want to do it all. They want to excel. They are doing 100 things at the same time, and they want these 100 things to be 100%. They are very highly driven. They are also very experienced, and they have high standards. But this weighs them out. They will break down faster than they can imagine. They will break down faster than they can imagine. That is why it's very important that they recognize this and know that, okay, they have strength, but where do they need to put their strength or their talent? Where do they need to put it? And what can they delegate? What can they give out? And they need to start putting breaks into their life, leisure, me time into their life, and they need to ask for support, ask for help, even though sometimes you can do everything, but you must not do everything. So these are the 6 kind of personality. So if you're able to diagnose yourself and see yourself, which of the types you see in you, are you the controller and the superwoman, super person type, or are you the avoider and the victim personality? If you know that, then you'll be able to start putting some strategies and coping mechanism in place to relieve the situation. And if you have people in that situation, you will know how to deal with them. You know the things to start saying to them for them to calm down and diffuse the situation. So when you now have these stressful people in your life, what do? There are some things I would say about 8 things I would say that you must practice when you want to manage this stress with these people. 1, you have to maintain emotional distance. I tell my clients that sometimes it's not an everyday thing whereby you become emotionally at a 0 point, but in some particular situation, you need to be emotionally 0. You understand? You need to have that emotional distance from the old drama and everything that is going on there. You have that emotional barrier. Is very, very important. That's the first one. Maintain emotional distance. Secondly, set clear boundaries. Let them know what behavior is acceptable by you and what behavior you cannot tolerate. Let these stressful people, let them know from the beginning. Let them know, oh, you can talk to me this way, or you can talk to me at this time, but not this way, not at this time. Set those clear boundaries. The third thing, you need to improve your communication, the way you communicate with them. You have to learn to use I, me, so instead of you telling them you do this, you do that, communicate in you using the I form of expressing your own opinion, your own dismay, your own complaints. Come from the I think, I feel, in my own opinion. That would make the situation, diffuse the situation a bit. It will diffuse the situation a bit. Then number 4, practice active listening. Sometimes just taking out time to really listen. I have to learn that very much. I need to learn it, and I'm still learning it. You need to just listen to that situation, because people, they feel unheard. They feel people are not listening to them. People are not hearing what they are saying. That is why they get louder. That is why they they behave in a certain way. So when you choose to listen actively to what is going on and see eye contact, nodding, and repeating, oh, I understand that you said you feel this way, things like that, it can help in that situation. It can help in that situation. Then number 5, you got to choose your battles. You got to choose which battle you are going to fight, because you cannot be fighting, especially if that person lives in your household or you see that person every day at work. You cannot be quarreling with them every day. So you just have to choose what things to let go, and what battles to really fight to the end. You got to choose your battles. You should not turn every disagreement into a conflict. Sometimes just let them be, let them have it, let them. You understand? So choose your battles. Then number 6, you got to use different stress management techniques. You can start counting numbers, deep breathing, silence, taking a break to calm yourself down, because those people, they've triggered you. You understand? So if you utilize some of those stress management techniques to calm you down, and the situation will not escalate, because sometimes when I've reacted in some situations that I find myself and I said, but why did I react that way? It's as if that person has taken my power away from me. So that is why I need to calm down. Number 7, you got to seek for support. Look for someone you can talk to, contact a coach, explain to a coach. I'm telling you, it makes a big difference, because people you are talking to, if you're talking to a coach or a mentor, they are experienced, they've seen different cases, they've heard different cases, they can better help you on how you are going to react or respond to that situation. And lastly, and very important, after you've done the things you can do, after you have looked for help and done everything, you have to know when to walk out of that situation. You have to know when to walk away of that environment, be it at work, be it in the family, whatever. You have to know when to walk away. It's very, very important. So what have you learned new in this video on stress personalities, on how to deal with people? Which of them have you been using, and which one would you start using? Share with me in the comment section. I'll be happy to read your comments, and please share this video and write, is there a particular topic you want me to talk about? I will do that. God bless you. Bye.